You've been trying to buy joy, but really what you're doing is buying happiness through quote unquote retail therapy. Today, I want to talk about really pursuing joy, not just happiness. Welcome back to the Joyful Mental Attitude Podcast, JMA. My name is David. I'm a joy coach. I help people find and pursue joy and then participate in joy. If you are joining us for the first time, we're trying to get to 100 episodes as quickly as possible. I'm recording one episode Monday through Friday. To do that, to build out this joy program, and I want you to come along with us where we're building out of not shame and guilt, but joy, imagination. And I believe that joy is the catalyst that is missing in a lot of our businesses, a lot of our personal brands, and a lot of the online space in general. Everything is kind of governed by shame and guilt. We all know that online, on social media, the thing that is driven is rage, and I'm going to create a space for the opposite, where we're pursuing joy, we're participating in joy, and we're sharing joy with other people. And so in today's episode, I want to get nitty and gritty into joy. A lot of the other episodes have been about the personal work that it takes to realize and to get to a place where we can participate in joy. For some of us, there is a quote unquote dirty room that we have to clean up in order to clear our heads to be in joy. Negative patterns, unwanted behaviors, just negative critical self-thinking. And if you can't process your way through those things, if you can't find healing from those things, and you can't find joy and participate in joy, there can be moments of it, but there's a difference between living out and pursuing your life out of joy. And in order to get there, you have to clear your head, you have to clear your heart, you have to do what the Catholics call confession and bring that in therapy through a friend, through a coach. Now, I'm not a therapist. I want to be very clear on that. I'm just a coach that helps you become aware of the joy in and around you. One of the things that I want to make very clear is that you can't buy joy. You can, as Arthur Brooks says, buy unhappiness. You can buy things that can clear some unhappiness from your life. You can buy therapy. You can pay for someone to come clean your house, to come do these things. And these things can get rid of some unhappiness in your life. And happiness is a good thing, right? Retail therapy can be fun. But I think joy is much deeper and much richer. And when you do try to buy happiness, what ends up happening is you chase a dog that you can never catch. Happiness feels good, but it isn't deep and it isn't lasting. And that's why you're trying to buy happiness, but it ends up being another thing that burns you out because you're constantly trying to pursue it and buy it. And joy is the complete opposite. Joy is about awareness. Joy is about gratitude. Joy is about contentment in the here and in the now. And if you can have that, if you can participate in that, if you can become aware of that, it radically changes your life. You don't need to buy anything else. If you just implement some of these practices that I'm sharing with you, you don't need to buy a coach. You don't need to get coaching with me. But it's about practicing these things. It's about taking a deep breath. It's about being grateful. What is one thing you could be grateful for today? Like we talked about yesterday's episode, it's about celebrating the small wins. It's about having radical optimism and belief in yourself and in the world. See, the reason I care so much about joy and sharing it with you and coaching you to it is because I've for a long time led my life from the opposite, from fear, from shame, from guilt, from anxiety, from stress, from negative thought patterns, from unwanted behaviors. And I just refuse to live that way on this other side of freedom. I've tasted from the cup of joy and I don't want anything else. One of the things that I am doing or working on doing is something called morning pages from a book called The Artist Way. If you have read it or know about it, let me know in the comments. I am in the 12-week journey personally, and I'm in week 3. And one of the commitments that you do to yourself to participate is you wake up every morning and do the morning pages, which is you write 3 pages. And if I'm honest, it's pretty difficult mentally, physically, emotionally. Honestly, I haven't written in a really long time. And so it like hurts my hand to write, which is really funny and weird. I heard Adam Grant talk about the 3-question why to get to what it is that you are trying to do. Is ask yourself three times why. Why am I trying to be a joy coach? Why? And in trying to process that this morning through my morning pages, it just becomes clearer and clearer to me that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. It becomes clearer and clearer to me that if I've seen the need for joy in my life and now I can't let it go, and I want to help others get there. Through a conversation, through coaching, through this podcast, through content, I'm just radically obsessed with joy because for a long time, I was obsessed with the opposite of joy. I had no imagination. I was led through fear. And a lot of you've built a business this way without knowing it, and now you're burnt out. A lot of you build a personal brand out of this to prove something to someone, and now you're burnt out. I am classically trained as a theologian. I'm actually working on my master's. And one of the things in the scriptures, in Nehemiah, it says, the joy of the Lord is our strength. And so I don't know if you're faith-based. In the artist way, it talks about that in order to be creative, you have to surrender to a divinity, whatever that divinity is to you. For me, that divinity is God. It's Jesus Christ. And in the scriptures, in this story, in this library of books that we have in the Christian faith, this particular God, Yahweh, he is a God that isn't stoic. He isn't far away like most gods. He is a God that interacts with his people. And one of the characteristics, one of the emotions, one of the things that he does to participate with his people is he sings joy over them. He gives them joy as strength. And this has been so true in my life, that joy literally gives me strength. It gives me strength in the day-to-day. It gives me strength emotionally, spiritually, physically. And you've been feeling down, you've been feeling burnt out, and I'm here to tell you that if you participate in joy, if you just take a moment and intake joy, because it's not something you can buy, it's not something you can muster up, but it is around. I wrote down this morning in my morning pages, you cannot buy it, you cannot just build it up whenever you want, but you can participate in it because it's always around. And it's about becoming aware of it through deep breathing, through prayer, through meditation, through being outside. You see, we spend our money on these things that don't really bring us joy. And Fight Club, we buy things for people that we don't really like to try to impress them. Isn't that so true? But I'm here to tell you that joy frees us of all of that to create in us a life that we want to live. I wrote down this morning, joy is a divine dance that makes the unseen seen. You know that feeling that you've always wanted to feel love, to feel cared for? The internal battles that you face, that we all face, that I've faced, the unseen things that need healing, that need to be processed well with kindness, not with shame and guilt, with patience. Joy makes the unseen seen, and it leads through kindness. It leads through patience. And so I'm passionate about, through the online space, through coaching, talking about my obsession with joy because it has radically healed my heart. It has healed my marriage. It has healed my family. It has healed me. And I can't buy joy. But I've been able to tap into this divine dance. There is in you a love. There is in you one of the best ways to explain joy. You know, one of the coolest experiences is people that live close by come and they get a coaching session and we go for a walk on the beach. And we homeschool, and so me and my family, we're always together. I get a couple hours to myself at the desk, so I get some work done. But there's been several instances where I'm coaching someone, and they come over, and my kids are just running around playing, and they're just laughing at the dumbest and silliest stuff. And that untangible laughter, that is joy. Unadulterated, unfiltered joy. And as I'm coaching someone through, some mental habits, breaking through some barriers, and being able to point to my kids laughing and running around and going, you hear that? You hear them just laughing at a fart joke or the dumbest things. That is joy. And as adults, as we grow up, we tend to do that. We grow up. And we stop participating, we stop playing, we stop enjoying. And the way you get that back is through joy. And so I don't know where you're at today. I just know that this is my obsession because I know what the opposite of this feels like. And you're not alone. I know what it's like to be driven by shame, by depression, by anxiety, by fear. I know what it's like to be caught in unwanted behaviors and negative thought patterns. And the shame and guilt keeps you there even longer as a way to sort of self-preserve, as a way to nihilistically martyr yourself internally. And it makes change even harder because it feels so comfortable being there. And happiness will not last to get you out, but joy will. And as the scriptures teach us, if you're faith-based, you will know this. If you're not, welcome. But one of the things is that joy always comes in the morning. And you don't have to necessarily believe like I do to participate in this. But I'm here to tell you that it's always darkest before the dawn, that you can make it out. And not only can you make it out, not only is there another side, the other side feels so much better. Coffee tastes better. Life is better. Life is richer. There's better laughs. There's better friendships. There's a better you on the other side, and you get there through pursuing joy. So if you need to get the professional help through a therapist, do that. If you need coaching, whenever we get ready to release the program, sign up. Get around people that encourage you. Have better meals, have better laughter, and this is our pursuit of joy. You were built for joy, regardless of what is happening internally, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what your thoughts make you feel, your habits make you feel. You were built for joy, and there is strength in joy. I get so emotional, again, talking about this because I know what the other side feels like. And I know there's a lot of you that maybe you haven't had the language or the tools necessary to understand what's happening and how to get out of it. But I want to encourage you and I want to challenge you. Even just right there where you're at, why don't we do this? Just take a deep breath. You were built for joy. You can participate and have joy. And the most beautiful, radical thing about all of this, sorry, my throat's getting all calm out, I'm getting so emotional, is there are people waiting for you that need you to show up, but you haven't been able to show up for yourself, so you can't help other people. And the moment you are able to heal, and the moment you are able to jump the fence, the beautiful thing about joy is that it's not meant to be kept for ourselves, it's meant to be shared. And as soon as you are able to tap into joy, it's going to make your life bigger and more welcoming and more open, because that's how your heart is. That is how your mind is. Joy is richer than happiness. You can have joy. You can participate in joy. And it is going to be joy that shatters all of the depression, all of the anxiety. Get professional help if it's a dark, dark place. I've gotten professional help. I've been in and out of therapy for several years as an adult. But the one thing that really broke all of this off, besides, trying to get healthy physically, emotionally, mentally, getting therapy, having conversations with good friends, with good mentors, getting some coaching. But the thing that finally broke all of this, I was on a trip with my family and it just hit me on the road. Boom, and I just experienced this overwhelming feeling of joy. For months, I would just cry all the time because I could feel joy. I was no longer numbing myself, isolating myself. I started to finally participate in life. This is what this is about. Life and more life. This has been David with the Joyful Mental Attitude Podcast. Catch us tomorrow on another episode. If this has been helpful to you and you've watched the whole way through, follow me on Instagram, Dave Gomez TX, the Joy Coach. DM me, let me know. Yo, joy. It's changing. Come on, let's change together. I believe we can change the world through joy, change yourself through joy, change our neighborhoods, our cities, our communities through joy. I hope this has been helpful to you. Go out and listen to a great record today. Grab some good coffee, text a friend, DM me, let me know, and let's participate in joy together. Build businesses and personal brands out of joy. See you tomorrow.